What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, I'm going to give my prediction for the Sugar Bowl matchup between the Alabama Crimson Tide versus the Kansas State Wildcats. But if you haven't, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And by doing so, it greatly helps out my channel and it helps me grow as a content creator. This is going to be an interesting matchup, guys, and I can't wait to watch it. And at first, I was kind of wondering, how this game be because I didn't know who I was going to play. We all know around this time players, opt out and for business decisions, whether get ready for the draft or whatever. But this matchup got interesting, guys, because Bryce Young and Will Anderson have decided to play in this matchup, and also for TCU, uh, Deuce Vaughn has decided to play as well. So this is going to be a really good matchup, guys. And I'm gonna get into the stats for both teams and tell you what both teams are looking like. Of course, Bryce Young, uh, last year's Heisman winner, and has done a phenomenal job at Alabama, guys. And came as a shock to everybody that he's decided to play in this game, but uh, that just shows you how great of a leader he is, and him and Will Anderson. And so far this season, he's thrown for 3,007 yards, and he has 27 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Like I said, this guy was the glue to Alabama's offense for the entire season. Him and Jahmyr Gibbs, and without those two, uh, I don't know where Alabama's offense would have been. We probably would have lost some more games this season, guys. But Bryce Young has done a phenomenal job for Alabama, and I can imagine, after this, this game, he's going to decide to declare to the draft and uh, be a highly drafted, NFL pick, guys. And they're saying that he's going to be in the top 5, which I'm pretty sure. And what can I say? This guy has done a heck of a job for Alabama, and he's going to be missed from Alabama. And for Kansas State, Howard. I mean, this guy has done a phenomenal job for Kansas State, and they was able to come back and beat a TCU team that's in the playoffs right now, guys. So they lost to him early on in the season, but avenged their loss. And he's thrown for 1,423 yards with 15 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So this guy's no slouch. The way he commanded that offense for Kansas State, this guy is going to be a problem for Alabama. And if Alabama don't come in there to play, this guy can definitely pull this victory off against the Alabama Crimson Tide. So definitely a guy we're going to have to watch out for. Like I was speaking earlier about Jahmyr Gibbs, he has 850 yards on the season with 7 touchdowns. Didn't play in the later half of the season, last couple of games, against Auburn and stuff like that. Looked like he was battling an ankle injury or something like that. And we got to see more of Jace McClellan. He seems like he's the number 1 guy right now. I predict Jahmyr Gibbs probably going to declare for the draft as well. This guy brought a spark to Alabama's offense. This guy can take it home at any moment. And a guy that I wish we would have utilized more. I wish we can get him back for next season, but this is a guy that's a weapon for Alabama. And like I was saying earlier, Deuce Vaughn for Kansas State. This guy has 1,425 yards and 8 touchdowns. Big, huge help for Kansas State going in this matchup. Alabama has struggled to stop the run the last couple of games, and this guy right here is a beast of a player. And so Alabama's going to have their hands full trying to contain this guy and stop the run. Of course, Alabama's number 1 receiver is Ja'Cory Brooks. He has 623 yards and 7 touchdowns. This is a guy that has emerged as probably the number 1 guy. We all thought it was going to be Jermaine Burton, but Ja'Cory Brooks definitely stepped up. Was the guy pretty much stepped up last season, in the Auburn game, and seems like a guy that we got more, gave him more catches. So he's like the number 1 guy. But since then, like I said, Alabama has some guys transfer out, and JoJo Earl and Trayshawn Holden, 2 guys that have started at Alabama. So I expect to see Alabama's young guys step up, like Kendrick Law, Kobe Prentice, some guys like that to step up, Isaiah Vines. Hopefully those guys can step up in this matchup because we're going to need them. And maybe a guy in Tyler Harrell can come in and be able to get some playing time because we're going to need it against this Kansas State team. This team is really good for Kansas State and can't be overlooked. And speaking of Kansas State, their leading wide receiver knows He has 719 yards with 2 touchdowns. So this Kansas State team is no slouch. Alabama's definitely going to have to be on their A game against this team. Points per game, Alabama's averaging 40 points per game. Kansas State is averaging 33. So the advantage goes to Alabama in this matchup. Points allowed per game, Alabama's only allowing 18 points per game. Kansas State is only allowing 20. So both teams about averaging about the same amount of points that they're giving up. So it's going to be interesting to see whose offense is going to take off in this game. Total yards, Alabama's getting 475 yards per game. Kansas State is averaging 420. So Alabama has the advantage there. If you were to break that down, Alabama's averaging 278 through the air, and they're getting 197 on the ground. So that's really, really good balanced offense, for Alabama. Kansas State, they're averaging 210 yards through the air, and they're getting 209 on the ground. So both teams are pretty good, balanced offensively. Kansas State, they're a little bit better, team on the ground, run the ball than Alabama is currently at this point. But Alabama's the better passing team out of the two. So it's going to be an interesting matchup, guys. It's going to be fireworks. Can't wait to watch it. Yards allowed, Alabama's allowing 311 yards per game, and we're allowing 186 through the air and 125 on the ground. Like I said, Alabama has struggled the last couple of teams that they played against as far as, stopping the run, whether it's the quarterback or the running back out the backfield. So, like I said, Deuce Vaughn is a beast of a player, and it's going to be interesting to see how Alabama schemes up the defense to be able to stop this Kansas State Wildcats offense. Kansas State, they're giving up 365 yards per game. So they're giving up 216 through the air, and they're giving up 148 on the ground. If Alabama get this run game going against this Kansas State game, this game can get out of hand for Kansas State with Alabama's rushing attack with Jace McClellan, Rodell Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, if he's healthy. This can get really, really crazy for Kansas State. But it's going to be a matchup for both sides. Common, teams that the opponents played against. Of course, Alabama beat, went on the road, played Texas and struggled with Texas, only beat them by a point. And Kansas State, they lost to Texas 34-27. So that's their common opponent that they played against. And since then, Alabama beat Mississippi State 30-6. Took a loss to LSU 32-31 in overtime. Bounced back, went on the road to Ole Miss, beat them 30-24. Beat Austin Peay 34-0, a team they should have beat. And then had a really, really good game offensively against Auburn, beating them 49-27 in the Iron Bowl. But Auburn was able to, like I said, Auburn got, I think, over 300 rushing yards against Alabama in that matchup. So Alabama's going to have to contain Deuce Vaughn if they want to be able to win this matchup. Just stop the run in general. Alabama started off good early on the season, but when they got better competition, the rush defense just kind of fell apart, guys. And interesting matchup against Kansas State. Like I said, Kansas State lost to Texas 34-27. They beat a Baylor team at Baylor 31-3. They beat West Virginia, beat them 48-31. West Virginia team that's kind of struggled all season and had a close matchup against West Virginia, but they beat them. Beat a Kansas team that was, pretty good this season, was able to get ranked and beat them 47-27, completely blowed out their in-state rival. And then they played against TCU and beat TCU the second time around, guys, 31-28 in overtime. So this Kansas State team is motivated. This is a dangerous game for Alabama. And Alabama better be on their game if they want to win this matchup. I'm looking at the spread right now. It's 6.5 for Alabama. I think this is going to be a close matchup, guys, but for the first half. But I think Alabama's going to win this game. I'm picking them to win this game. I got them winning 38-28. I know this point spread is at 6.5, but I think Alabama can do a little bit better than 6.5 points. But that's all depending on the defense, in my opinion. Far as I've read, there's no players that's opting out for this matchup besides the guys that's already winning the transfer portal. So what that's telling me is that Henry To'oTo'o is going to be on the field, and in my opinion, he's a weak point in Alabama's defense, and it seems like wherever the running back is, he's on the opposite side of the field. Um, and when he has open lanes, it seems like he doesn't run in and try to fill in the gap. So I'm basing my the game being like that, in my opinion, 38-28. It might be 35-28, guys. I'm just being honest, and that'll be more on the lines of the spread. That'll be like a 7-point victory. But I think Alabama gonna struggle stopping the run. Kansas State gonna get their points, but I think Alabama's gonna pull out and be able to get the victory. But that's all I have for the video. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. And once again, guys, if you haven't, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll definitely be back with more college football content. Thanks, guys, and roll tide.